So yesterday I was asked to come and talk about being the community blogger, and today I thought I'd come back and actually talk about something I've always been passionate about, not that I'm not passionate about blogging, and that's about community. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to tell a few stories, and then I'm going to wrap that up around why I think community is important. So first of all, I have a happy story, and that happy story is that about 15 months ago, I wrote a blog and I asked people to crowdfund a tester in New Zealand called Kim Angel to go to Let's Test Oz. And she needed 5,000 New Zealand dollars. And once I blogged, within less than 4 days, we had the $5,000. I then wrote another blog which said how a community became a family, because I felt that whilst we had started to build a community, we'd gone another step. Now, I have to tell you that more than half of the people that provided that money didn't live in New Zealand or in Australia. The people that gave the most money weren't from directly inside our community. So for me, that was a really happy story and showed me the power of community. Now, as things go with us testers, you know, we tend to have more sad stories than happy stories. It's just the way things go. I may tell both, I may just tell one, but I'll tell you first the one that affected me. About 3 years ago, I spoke at a conference in Canberra in Australia, and it was run by the ISTQB, and within an hour of me walking off stage they blackballed me, and I felt quite happy about that actually, because they'd actually done something, and I sort of, one of the things I've said about them is I don't see that they do very much, so I guess maybe, you know, I got what I asked for. But the crazy thing was, the reason they blackballed me was because of one word that I said. And that word was a word that in England we use in mixed company every day. I've been using it since I was a kid. But there was one person in the audience who didn't like that word and took the connotation that they chose to, and that went to the committee, and I was actually going to talk at a SIGIST for them in Melbourne the following week, and I had a call from the chair of that SIGIST, and she said, and she'd been a friend of mine for 10 years, you can't talk next week. So that, I think, is a sad story about how a community can create damage. Now, we have another thing that's going on at the moment, which I also see as a sad story. It's been going on for several years, and it involves a few subcultures within our overall testing community. And I've been watching that act out online, and I saw an aspect of it again yesterday in the ISO workshop, and it dismayed me that we've lost sight of the big picture. We don't seem to be able to accept each other's ideas. We don't seem to be able to embrace difference. What I call flaunt the imperfection. We're all imperfect. We all have different ideas. I just think we should accept them. And our community will be much stronger if we can accept them. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to use my blog to influence as much as possible the creation of a community that accepts everybody into it. I have a big issue with exclusive communities. I want us to have one inclusive community for the whole of software testing, and I'm going to work on doing that. EuroSTAR has been doing this for a number of years. When I first came to EuroSTAR in '99, we talked about building a community. It's the people that have to feel they're part of that community. EuroSTAR can't impose it. But even though I live in Australia, I feel part of the EuroSTAR community. This is my 7th visit to EuroSTAR. I'm very proud to come to EuroSTAR. I'm very happy to pay every year to come to EuroSTAR. My wife reminds me that it's never in the budget, but that doesn't stop me coming. So I'm very fortunate to know a lot of the people in the room here, and some of the people, I'm not going to name anybody, but some of these people have done an enormous amount to support my career, and I'm very grateful. So my last message, as I say, to wrap this up is flaunt the imperfection, accept difference, and we can address those challenges that we've been hearing for the last 3 days of the future. If we don't come together, a lot of those challenges will remain challenges, and that I think is very sad. Thank you.